The retooling process for the next week look like for you?
Um, I normally take an off day the next day and hydrate. Try to eat a lot too to make sure I maintain my body weight. Being a smaller guy, I lose weight very fast. Like I can literally sit here. Uh, I'll probably eat twice a day and I'll lose weight. So I have to eat a lot. Um, for arm care, I'll go through my normal band routine and just get in with core and make sure I get my soft tissue work done and break up the fascia. Make sure all the soreness is getting out of my body before I go to throw again, and just build off of that, making sure that I'm long tossing and staying on my same program while also listening to my arm, making sure I'm not doing anything to hinder myself the next time I go out. Uh, Other than that, that's pretty much it. Just staying on that same routine and listening to my body.
How do you feel like you performed this year on your starts?
Uh, Obviously, you can always get better every time you start, unless you're throwing a perfect game. But I believe that I've done exceptionally well as far as like how last year went and the years before that. I had like slow starts, but this year I felt like I came out and I was ready, uh, healthy, mentally. I was locked in and I've just been trying to build off of that.
Why is that? Why do you feel like you've been having better starts?
Um, I have a lot more motivation this year, uh, a lot more drive to get it done. I have a little bit more experience under my belt. I've been through situations that I can look back on and say, oh, this is what I did and this is what I should have done, and I can correct myself in the moment rather than uh, having it happen and then thinking about it later that night. And I'm like, all right, this is what I should have done.
You were starting at the beginning of the year, and then we didn't see you for like 2 weeks, and then you came back. Was there like a period where you were just working on some things, really keying in, kind of like what Ty Floyd was doing, or?
I believe in that moment, I've talked to the coaches a few times during that time, and they were just trying to get a lot of the younger guys in to get more experience under their belt and more opportunities to get used to D1 baseball. A lot of the younger guys are coming in and uh, they're not going these extended innings, so they were getting their work in and I was helping out wherever I could, watching bullpens, nitpicking, and getting together with them each and every day, make sure that they perfecting their craft.
On the opposite side of the younger guys, you have Trent, who's been one of the most effective relievers for you guys this year. You've been with him every step of the way since you guys came in freshman year. What's he doing this year that's making him a little bit more effective than usual than what he has his past few seasons?
I don't think that he's changed anything. His mindset's definitely a little bit more advanced than in the past few years. Obviously, as we keep getting older and coming back, we've had that experience, and like I said, we can look back on situations and be able to act on that in that moment. But as far as anything else, he hasn't changed a thing. He's kept the same sort of mindset, and he's going out there and as our job is just get outs and pitch by pitch, giving our team the best chance for success.
Can you talk about your motivations a little bit and what you're pitching for this year?
Main motivation is my dad and what he's told me uh, before what he's told me leading up to him leaving. Um, he's just basically told me that he believes in me so much and that I'll leave LSU a legend, and I believe that too. So coming back, definitely it wasn't a coincidence in my eyes. Uh, God has his path, and I've just been trying to build off of that and make sure I'm keeping myself in a loving environment, which is here. This is the only place I can be to get that affection, and this is basically my therapy. Coming here every day, being with my guys, and going out there and shoving.
With the new pitching coach, with Jason Kelly, kind of what have you learned under him so far?
I've learned a lot of mental aspect, pre-prep pitching routine and breathing routine, and all those things. These things that he's teaching me plays a factor in how successful you'll be, being able to like fully prepared and knowing that you're fully prepared and not having to think about it when you're on the mound, or even if you are thinking about it on the mound, you can revert back to your breathing routine, staying composed, poised in the moment, and getting yourself ready overall to make the pitch.
You seem so locked in pregame as opposed to maybe years before. Where do you think that comes from, or is it something that you're doing intentionally?
It's something I've always done, but it's a little bit more intentional now because of the things I've learned over the past few months from the coaching staff. They've shed new light on situations that I've never thought about recently. I mean, in the past few years, and I take advantage of that, and I'm just basically like a sponge in water, soaking in all this knowledge and information, and I'm able to go out there and use it in my pre-throwing routine, thinking about all these things and making sure that once I step on the mound, it's a whole different ball game. It's almost like Mike Tyson and his philosophy for fighting. Before he steps into the ring, he's really nervous as he's walking up to the ring, but once he steps in the ring, he's a different person. And that's how I kind of think of myself.
How nice is it to be back at home for this long stretch? I don't think you guys play outside of the state until like I think the beginning of May. So how nice is it to just have the fan base behind you?
I'm not gonna say I'm like overly excited, but it is a relief to be back home. Traveling for 2 weeks, it takes a toll on your body, mind. It's very exhausting, but it also, I thought of it as new opportunities to get better as a team, as a whole, because we learned a lot of things. We already know we're good, but we're not there yet. So a lot of these new guys and younger guys are starting to realize that there's a lot of opportunities that come in a 2-week span, and you got to be ready for the next opportunity.
You lost your dad last summer, and you talked about how this place is your therapy. What has the team done for you to kind of provide this as a safe space? How have they supported you in this past year?
Just showing love every day. These are my brothers, and I wouldn't change them for anybody. So just coming to the field every day and having them show love and compassion, being a listening ear whenever I don't have my good days, that's really all I need. Other than that, they'll come over to my apartment, we'll play games and just like chop it up, things like that. Just normally brotherly activities, but they've been showing a lot of love, so that's how I get through it.
Ma'Khail, I noticed the chain, the number 52. Is there any significance behind that number to you?
I actually made a deal with my dad. What was that? My senior year. I think it was my senior year, right after we won state championship. If I came to LSU and became a starter, he'd give me a pendant. Like just, I think this pendant is like $2,000 or something like that. It's a custom pendant from his jeweler.
What do you expect to see from this Missouri team?
Every year that we play Missouri, they're pretty hard-nosed, like gritty. So they're not going to just come in and roll over. We're going to have to do the same exact thing that we've been doing every weekend, pitch by pitch, making sure that we're fully prepared before the game mentally, moving runners, and from the pitching staff, getting outs.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.